you may or may not be aware of this. There's a holiday recently.
Yeah, a haul a day.
So we're hauling some books. I'm going to go first because my stack is short. I don't get very many books because I have 12 rats. And while I can get books from the library, I cannot get free vet care. So let's start with, I can't remember if I hauled this or not. So I'm just starting here with Written in the Stars. I read this a while ago. Like, was it September?
Mm.
Something like that. I loved this book. It's about, well, you're reading it. Do you want to?
Yeah, it's about, well, it's kind of a Pride and Prejudice retelling. And there's a character named Darcy who's like uptight and stiff and worried about heartbreak, kind of. And then there is Al, who is a little head in the clouds. She loves like astronomy, astrology, that sort of thing. And they end up having to fake date. And that's what the story is. And it's very, very, on a scale of like 1 to 10, it's very gay. I'd say it's like a 9 for the gay.
Yeah. And I loved it. So my parents were just like, is there a book you want from Barnes & Noble? And I was like, well, I'm not going to pass up that opportunity. So.
Yeah, they got me Chloe Brown that day.
Yeah.
They just like gave it to us and just, here you go.
And I got Hang the Moon. This one, I know I didn't haul because I only got it a couple days ago. This one is about Darcy's brother, Brendan. He is, what does he do for a living?
He owns that company, the app, doesn't he?
Yes, he owns a dating app. And he is in love with love, basically. And this is Darcy's friend, Annie. Can you tell that this one did not stick with me as well? I also read this a few months ago, like September, October. I cannot remember. And I enjoyed it, but not as much. But I wanted it anyway because I liked it. And the third book's gay, which means I can't just have the 2 bookend books.
I'm doing that with Chloe Brown.
Yeah, and that is fine. For me. Alright, and then we went to the used bookstore recently, and I got some books, including The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. This is about a woman who is autistic, and she basically wants to learn how to properly date. So she gets a escort? Yeah, an escort to date her. And this is probably my 3rd favorite of the series. Like, I think it's reversed ordered completely. Like, my favorite's the 3rd one, my second favorite's the 2nd one, my least favorite's the 1st one. But anyway, I enjoyed it pretty well, so. Oh, and it's blurred by Nalini Singh. I just unhauled one of her books. And then I also found, she got me The Heart Principle because I was sad. As friends do. And this is about a woman named Anna who is struggling with her recent diagnosis of autism, and at the same time her long-term boyfriend decides that he wants an open relationship, so she puts herself on a dating app as revenge, and she meets Quan, who is a very sweet man, and we love him. So that's that one. And then at the bookstore I also found Eve Brown. This one I'm not good at describing.
Eve Brown is the most irresponsible of her 2 sisters, 3 including her. And her parents decide, because she can't keep a job, she keeps quitting, she can't just like steady herself because she's like 24. They cut her off from her inheritance. And she's like, oh, fine, I'm going to prove to you that I'm an adult. So she goes and she drives and she ends up at a bed and breakfast where she gets herself a job as a cook, even though she isn't a cook. She just kind of like gets through the interview, and there's some unforeseen circumstances and that keeps her at this place having to take care of, what's his name? I forgot his name. Jacob. She has to take care of him for a little while because something happens to him, and trouble ensues.
All right, now we're on to the books that I haven't read yet, which is only 3, but One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. I read their other book, Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I loved that one. I was very hesitant on this book, and I definitely won't be getting their next book because that one's YA.
Yeah.
And I just do not connect with YA. But I was hesitant on this one because the premise just did not appeal to me. I believe the premise is that this train is like displaced from time or something.
No, just she is displaced from time and she's
Okay.
stuck on the train.
Yeah. It doesn't really appeal to me,
Yeah.
but I wanted to give it a chance because I did really enjoy Red, White, and Royal Blue.
This has the same tone.
It does?
Yeah.
Have you read it?
I've read some of it.
Did you like it?
I did, but it lapsed, so I couldn't finish.
Okay.
But it feels very similar. I also don't like the premise. I don't like time stuff at
Yeah,
all.
it just doesn't appeal to me.
So I'm hoping I like it. If I don't, my sister wants it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a go. I don't even know if I've have it on hold yet. I have so many things on hold that are gonna take months for me to get, including what's up next, the X-Facts. I just thought this sounded cute. So this is by Erin Sterling, and I believe the premise is that she puts a hex on her ex-boyfriend, and then years later she regrets it and has to figure out a way to fix it. So I think it's like a second chance romance.
Is Erin Sterling a pen name for Rachel Hawkins or vice versa?
I have no idea.
I swear to God, I think that's what is the situation. If I'm wrong, like, comment, and subscribe. But I do think it's the same author.
Who's Rachel Hawkins?
She did the Royals books.
Oh, okay.
Rachel Hawkins, she also does like adult mystery. And I think this might, I don't know if this is, maybe I'm just making stuff up.
Hold on. Wait. Also writes as Rachel Hawkins.
I like her.
All right, awesome. And then my last book is mine just because she got a bunk copy. So, and that's Dune, this is technically the bunk copy, and it does feel a little loose, but I can live with it.
For $30, I wanted a better copy. But have you seen the end papers?
No. Do you want me to open it up? I'm not one of those people that really cares about end papers. I felt.
Did you see the front?
Oh my god, here, just you do it. Your copy's right there. Why didn't you just wait?
Fear is the mind killer. Because it's right here. My son, this reminds me of my son, Paul Atreides is in the backyard right now. I left him out there and I miss him.
It's a pine tree she got for Christmas.
He's beautiful and I love him and he's going to thrive. I just miss him. He's out in the cold.
So Dune, we all know what Dune's about. I don't need to explain it. If you want to explain it, you can.
I have books.
She does have
that
books.
are made for hauling. Okay. We're going to start with Dune. Paul's 15 in this book, and he is the son of a duke, and he's got to learn to be a little baby duke, and there's spice they got to get.
Anyway. Moving on.
Yeah. You hothead. Next, I got Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I bought this before I read Evelyn Hugo, because I like this cover, because I love water. I'm a big fan of water. And also the inside is yellow. So yellow and water. Oh, yellow.
That's a good pick. That's a good combo.
That's a solid yellow. That's asparagus pea yellow.
Yeah, if you have a yellow, it should make people who don't like yellow want to vomit.
Yellow, pink, blue, aesthetically, 10 out of 10. And we're hoping that the book is good. Because I read Daisy Jones and the Six and thought it was so paper thin that I want to yak. But then I read Evelyn Hugo and I died. So we're hoping this is at least in the middle. For Christmas, I got, this is a Haunted Mansion comic book. You know Disney's The Haunted Mansion? You know Disneyland and the Haunted Mansion of Disneyland with ghosts? This is a comic about the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland. Disneyland's the Haunted Mansion. These are the grim grinning ghosts, and they are in the mansion that is haunted at Disneyland in New Orleans Square, which is in Louisiana. It's southern, and it is on a plantation, but we don't talk about that. Next. Where'd you go?
Don't worry about it.
Trying to have a nice evening with my friend.
We'll have a nice evening on Thursday when we have Mario Party.
Next, I got this WandaVision book because I'm in love with both of them and want to be their third. This is just a fun...
I think they're used to coming here and saying some thirst.
Am I a joke to you? You're in my room? I've opened my home to you?
Excuse me?
This is WandaVision. This is Wanda, this is Vision. Do you see how beautiful she is? Look at the power. This is just beautiful pictures and some articles about the show WandaVision with Wanda and Vision on Disney Plus, which is the same company that does Disneyland, in which you can find the Haunted Mansion New Orleans Square.
Our vibes are totally different.
Are we like Grumpy Sunshine, but I'm both Grumpy and Sunshine?
Then what am I?
Sarah. You're Bruno from that new movie, the Disney one on Disney Plus that also has WandaVision on it. He's got the rats and he lives in a sewer, I think. Or in the walls.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of him, though.
Next up, I got a collection. Father?
No dog.
I got a collection of Killer Croc stories. It's Batman Arkham. This one's Killer Croc. I have Penguin, and I also have Mr. Freeze. This is a library copy that I didn't know was a library copy when I got it. He marked out the library name with a Sharpie like that was going to trick me. And it didn't. Somehow it didn't trick me. This is, Killer Croc is a man who's a crocodile. He's got a skin condition. If you couldn't tell, this is a person. And he eats people and he lives in the sewer, which I do respect. And then Batman's tied up here. It is not violent, I assure you. It's just some light play. And next up, this video. If we were monetized, it would be demonetized and blocked in every country.
The way I curse, it's going to be real hard if we ever get monetized.
I got DC Dark Knight's medal. I don't know how many. Medal's a whole event. A whole entire event. And this is a piece of it. That's all I can tell you. But Batman Who Laughs. Next at the bookstore. This feels dirty. Or is it Matt?
It's Matt.
It feels dirty. This is Preacher. I haven't seen the show, but I want to see the show, so I got the comic at a bookstore.
Yeah, to give you some context, we meant to watch the show when it was first put on Hulu.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
We were like, we really want to watch Preacher, but that's on Hulu, and we don't have Hulu. And her dad's like, oh, I'll get Hulu. And then we never watched it.
And then we watched everything else on Hulu.
Yeah. Why would we do that? Same as when we were like, oh, I kind of want to watch the X-Men movies. Oh, we don't have the X-Men movies. And Dad's like, I bought every single X-Men movie 5 minutes after you had that conversation. And it's been years and we haven't watched them.
Yeah, I remember the conversation about Hulu so clearly because me and her were like, oh, we can just cheat the system. We'll get Hulu for free, for the free trial, and we'll just like pound the entirety of Preacher. And then Dad was just like, I can get you Hulu. I'll pay for Hulu.
He doesn't understand coupons and thrifting.
Did I let a dog in?
No.
Alright.
Our books are on the floor. This is just a Simpsons comic. I got it at the bookstore. I like the Simpsons. I have lots of these. And they're not awesome, but they are fun in the sense that you look and there's the characters you love from the Simpsons and they're there and they're Simpsoning. And that's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I sound unhinged?
It's the vaccine.
Mama got boosted. Mama got juiced up by a nice man at Walmart. I got juiced. It's in me. I feel it in me.
Oh, you bled a lot more than I did.
Thank you.
I didn't bleed at all. If it's not for the pain, I would be like, oh, you wouldn't believe I got it. But yeah, nothing.
If not for the pain.
Well,
yeah.
That and the fact that I had an allergic reaction to the Band-Aid. The adhesive of Band-Aid sometimes makes me have an allergic reaction.
I didn't pull it off because I didn't want to. Do you like my strawberry skin that I'm showing?
This is a book haul, believe it or not.
Oh, no, it's just Oh, that's copyrighted. I'm so tired. I haven't slept in 2 weeks.
Play Dead by Daylight. Let's finish this haul.
I got this. This is The Witcher. This is the worst Witcher.
Yeah, I hated that one.
There's an epilogue in it that I want, even though it doesn't necessarily answer any questions you might have had from the... I don't know why he would undo an ending like that, considering... I thought you would undo an ending like that if you want to continue the series.
Yeah.
This is a prequel with an ending that is a sequel to the last book in the series. So I don't really understand why he would do that epilogue, because literally you do that if you want to continue. Otherwise, the book ended pretty...
I'm gonna check.
Because you do an epilogue like this if you want to continue the series, but then he never did. because like doing this epilogue kind of undid the ending, which was supposed to kind of say something about a lot of things, which I won't spoil at all, but I just thought it was strange. Like, I expected more books to come from this, and maybe he is working on one, but if he was, you'd think that they'd announce it. I don't know, but I bought this so that I could have all the Witcher books. Barnes & Noble's having a sale right now. It's half off every single hardcover in the store.
Well, not by the time you guys see this, but as of right
you
now.
Don't know.
I do know. I schedule it.
Barnes & Noble? Oh, the channel. Barnes & Noble's having a half off sale right now, half off hardcovers, so I thought I'd buy myself some treats. Because I never do that, except all the time. I got the new Rick Riordan book, Daughter of the Deep. I think this is a standalone. It's not Greek mythology, so I was actually really hesitant. I'm terrified I'm going to hate it. But it's about like an academy for kids. That's all I know. That's probably all I'm going to know going into it. I hope it's good because I like his writing, but Percy Jackson is like one of the most important books I've ever read for me. And I just don't know if I'm going to love this, but I'm hoping. Next book I got on the sale was this Will Smith autobiography, memoir. I love Will Smith. He's super cool. Oh my God. I didn't know this was it's a WS under the jacket, in case you forgot his initials. I love Will Smith, and any memoir he could write is only going to be absolutely enthralling. There's a lot of glue on this spine. And the final book I bought, I'm going to stretch my leggies. Oh.
Here, bring them this way.
Swing them around.
Yeah. Keep them coming.
Oh, there's so much.
There you go.
The final book I bought was the illustrated edition of The Witcher, The Last Wish. They did a special hardcover of this, I think for an anniversary. I'm not sure, but it's absolutely beautiful. I wish they had done something different on the back than on the front, but it's not like they had illustrators for this or anything. I'm actually going to put this on. Yeah. Okay. Next. It's dirty. I got Out of Shadows. Oh no, I thought this was a different author. I got Out of Shadows by Justina Ireland, which is the second book in the young adult. Okay, Star Wars is doing this thing where it's a whole event of the High Republic, which takes place about, I believe, 1,000 years before, like, Anakin. Like, no one, I think the only person alive is maybe Yoda. And it's the High Republic, which is like, it was like the height of the Jedi. And they're doing this thing with like a run of adult books, a run of young adult, middle grade, little kid. And I believe they're also going to do video games. This is the young adult. This is the sequel to the Claudia Gray one, which was called Into the Dark. This is, yeah, Out of Shadows. There's one more coming out. I haven't read either of them, but I kind of collect Star Wars books because I'm hoping one day to watch the movies and enjoy them. So I bought that. It was $8. What next? Christmas. Middle grade. Middle grade?
Middle Game.
Jesus.
Middle Game by Shauna McGuire.
What is happening to me? This is a middle game. I don't know what it's about, but I like Shauna McGuire. Do you know what it's about?
Nope. I think it's about twins trying to become gods.
Next up, The Charm Offensive by Allison
Cochran.
That's right. This is The Bachelor, but he doesn't end up with the girl he ends up with. Oh, man. I started reading this. It's pretty good so far. There's a Paramore reference in the first 5 pages, which is how you get me. Next. Well Matched? Right. Jen DeLuca. This is the final book in the Well Met series, which is romances that take place at a Renaissance fair. I look forward to reading Buttercup.
I wanted my dog.
She's not your dog.
She is now.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God.
I got my dog. This is what she wanted.
I got The Hating Game at the bookstore by Sally Thorne. The movie is about to come out.
No, it's out. It's out. It's been out for a couple of weeks.
There's this ugly... It went blue. There's this ugly sticker on it. This is a workplace romance. They are rivals, so it's rivals to lovers. Hopefully it's good. I didn't like the other Sally Thorne that I read, so worried about it.
There you go.
You
There
good?
you go.
Are you good?
She's fine. Don't lick one last time.
I got Chosen Ones by Veronica Roth, who's the author of Divergent. This is an adult book that is about a bunch of people who, when they were teenagers, were the chosen ones. They saved, I think, the world, or at least their city. And then this is them, I think, 15 years on when they're like grown adults. And
you got
it's
that one
basically...
from the used bookstore, right?
Did I? I didn't buy it on Amazon. Yes, I did. It's... Why? Just because it's chewed up on the top?
Yeah.
This is exactly the kind of thing I would like. It's like life after you fulfilled your purpose. When you've fulfilled your entire purpose of existing at the age of 15, what you do after that. So I'm really hoping I like this. The audiobook's an Amazon exclusive, so screw you. That's fine, though. I got Wild Sign.
Yay.
Do you want to talk about this? You can't.
It's This is spoilers.
It's the last, or it's the latest book
yes.
in the Alpha and Omega series by Patricia Briggs, and I loved this book. It was very good. And I gotta wait probably 5 years before she comes out with another one.
No.
There's a Mercy coming out, and then there's not another one of these for a while.
She might switch off, but usually she does 2 Mercies and 1 Alpha and Omega.
2 Mercies?
Yeah, that's how she does it historically. Is your nose touch your nose? Don't touch nose. Your nose is wet. No.
You moist beast?
No, I don't.
She's licking them.
She licked our principal.
Why are you like this?
I forgive you.
The final book in the haul I got, this was a Christmas present from her parents. I got What Once Was Mine. This is a Disney Twisted Tale. Disney, the company who has Marvel and Star Wars.
And does not pay people.
And doesn't pay their authors. Doesn't really pay their employees at Disneyland either. Not a livable wage. This is the Rapunzel Twisted Tale. Twisted Tales are basically not canon. It's you get a premise. There's a premise to every one of them that's like a what if kind of thing. This is what if Rapunzel's mother drank a potion from the wrong flower, which I believe instead of healing, she kills you with her hair. So that's what this is, and that's pretty cool. I can't wait to see Rapunzel absolutely wasting people.
Whenever I think of Rapunzel, I just think of Into the Woods and her screaming.
Her dying. Yeah, that's it. That's all the books in the haul.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this completely unhinged video. If you did,
What's wrong with you?
put a dog emoji.
If you didn't, what do you do if you don't like it? Report us. Throw us a dislike.
If you didn't like it, what's one of the ones we just unhauled? Put a vampire emoji if you didn't like it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Goodbye.
Go back home.